It's this side too. There you go. The Chris Miller. All right. Cool. Okay, we'll first start by saying your name.
Tom Richards.
Okay. How did Davis tie in your life to skateboarding?
So the thing you got to know about Davis, that everybody watching this has to know, is Davis is really boring. There's nothing to do here. You're growing up, young dude. I was a pretty young skateboarder, so I think that there's something really cool about growing up in a really boring town like this, and particularly with skateboarding, because you actually have to be so creative with space and your geography and everything. And I always thought it was just so interesting to just find something so mundane, like just this weird shaped curb or this step and rail, or we'd take picnic benches and run them up the lean it up the stairs at Davis High, and just ollie and rail slide down it or something like that. So it was just like this really creative use of the terrain, and I just always thought that was so cool. And god damn, we had to just do so much of that to just pass time in Davis.
Did you ever build structures or ramps in front of your house or around your house, or do you have rail slides you had made, or?
Yeah. I had a launch ramp, but mostly it was just Davis. It was like the loading docks. It would always be, and the other thing is that I really associate it so much with having a real sense of community, because it would always be, you're so bored. How do I get to 3 o'clock, the end of the school day? And it would just be like, we're going to have a session, and a skate session was a thing, man. It was like it would be me and Adam Wright and Atif, John Kennedy, and we'd just be so psyched to get out there. Maybe we'd start with Bones Brigade Video. We watched the shit out of those, and then we'd just get out, and it was almost like improv acting or something. We're like, anytime anybody did anything, we'd all go, yeah, woo. No matter what, it was just some lame little, kick flip or something like that. It took me forever to learn to kick flip too. But yeah, that was. I mean, you could be called a poser. We were called posers a lot in the late '80s.
What were you guys called, posters?
I think everybody. Well, I mean, if you're young and you're kind of punk rock or whatever, you kind of have a kick me sign on the back of your head. It's pretty, and I don't know, it's a small town. I mean, I don't think skateboarders or young kids remember. It was a little bit more of a, yeah, you just had a little bit more of a target on your back, I think.
Would you describe the mentality of going to a punk show where the older guys were at the door?
Oh, yeah.
Were there positive vibes, or was there a lot of volatile vibes, and or?
You had to earn your respect, I think. I mean, obviously that was like a big bridge for me. I found punk rock, which was super important in my life. I found that through skateboarding, but I mean, how do I answer that question? It was tough. I mean, no. I mean, you'd get, pushed around in the pit. You'd almost get there was a lot of fights, things like that. But in the end, I think it was kind of the same way as skateboarding, that in the end, people wanted to have your back, I guess. I'm going to have to get back to you on that. Okay, places I skated. Yeah, I mean, the cops were pretty quick on the scene, so you kind of had to go from venue to venue. So I remember the loading docks at UC Davis a lot, but it would always be kind of like countdown for UC Davis cops to show up. Yeah, I skated the tunnel. Um, Davis High, Community Park. Um, I mean, even that little lame thing at, at Whaleback Park that I know you have footage of.
Yeah.
Like that, anything. I mean, shit, we'd skate a log if that was all we had. You know, we'd find something to do with it.
You remember some of the shapes of the ramps that we had over here?
I remember
Can
that
you
little
describe the conditions of
that little quarter pipe you had, that little tiny thing you had. It's pretty beat as I remember.
Did it appear that we knew what we were doing when we built it?
No.
No.
No. It did the trick.
Let's see what else. Where did you go to see punk shows here in Davis?
Oh yeah. Mostly Vets Hall.
Okay.
And you know, despite what people say, I think, you know, everybody bitched about Davis and it was so lame and we don't have a scene anymore and all this stuff. But wow, in retrospect, I think it was pretty good. I do, and people really appreciated it happening. Whereas I think now it just seems a little more blasé. You know, that kind of thing would be. And there's no punk rock scene here anymore. Not at all.
No.
So Vets Hall. If I could get a ride, I'd go out to Gilman Street, but that was pretty rare. I snuck out of my house. My first show, I snuck out of my house and saw Operation Ivy at the Place.
At the place.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything about the condition of the place?
No, I just remember it was scary because I was a little kid. Scary punk rockers in there. Yeah, it's terrifying.
Interesting. Yeah, your favorite bands here in Davis? Any local bands you liked?
Of course, Necromancy. Local bands. God, I mean, just a lot of East Bay punk bands that I liked. Oh, I loved Operation Ivy, Crimp Shrine. What else? What else was going on then? There was a band called Living in Now that was from that actually played not far from here in a basement, your friend's basement. Was it
the Schulte basement?
Schulte basement.
Okay.
Yeah, they were from Chico. They were really good
They called Living in Now?
Living in Now, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you remember that show in 1989 where they had the Necromancy and the other bands play?
I remember every show. Which the one in the basement?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Describe what happened. Anything weird? Was there was a group in Sacramento or something that stirred
Did they
up
show up? Oh,
yeah, and they kind of stirred up some stuff or something.
That seemed to happen a lot. That really did, man.
That was a good vibe show. I mean, we had a lot of people in the basement.
There was this weird rivalry between Davis and Sacramento, only it was more Sac had issues with us. We were kind of ambivalent about it. Like, hey, you guys are all right. We'll go over there and skateboard and see your shows. But they would show up and kind of wreck stuff sometimes.
Yeah. Do you remember the bands that played down there in the basement? Like
yeah, it was the Knobs and
the Knobs. That's right.
And I thought Living in Now.
Was Shreblust or anything there?
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't mention Playground and Puppet Show were also bands from that era that were local.
Who were they?
They were good. That was my buddy Mark's band. And I used to go watch them practice a lot when I was a little kid. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The same people that were in Knobs, were they?
Same people, yeah.
Oh,
so it was the drummer of the Knobs. Sean McDonald and Mark Cira were in Playground.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with Matt Mason?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, they were a good band. What other good bands were playing then?
Did you ever see Wonderful
Green
Broken
Day
Thing?
would show up all the time. I mean, that's the funny thing. Green Day. Green Day were actually this band that we were kind of like, oh, Green Day's showing up again. God damn, like, weren't they here last week? Seriously.
Were they under the name Green Day or the Sweet Children?
I didn't see them when they were Sweet Children, but
Okay.
I saw them when they were Green Day.
Green Day. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other
And we'd
people
always
talk
show
about.
up, with our skateboards and, see punk shows after a day skateboarding. Yeah, that was definitely look back on that as the good old days.